My Talk to the Table
Yes.
is something that we're doing exclusively here. So we are sharing exclusive excerpts from Britney Spears' new memoir, The Woman in Me, ahead of its release tomorrow. In it, Spears details her struggle with postpartum depression after giving birth to her two sons. Also, in a video released by her team, you can hear her talk about the complicated relationship with her family that began long before the conservatorship she was put under for more than a decade.
When I was growing up, my mother and father fought constantly. He was an alcoholic. I was usually scared in my home. Outside wasn't necessarily heaven either, but it was my world. Call it heaven or hell, it was mine.
Now, The Woman in Me is published by Simon & Schuster, which, like CBS, is part of the Paramount Global family. I haven't opened it up.
Is that a real book?
This is it, but I can't open it, Gayle, though, because it doesn't come out till tomorrow. Jamie Yuccas has more on Spears' mental health struggles and the newfound freedom.
While always known for her megawatt smile on the red carpet, Britney Spears' memoir, The Woman in Me, reveals backstage she dealt with painful mental health struggles, including the back-to-back births of sons Jaden and Sean Preston.
Hi, Britney. How are you?
By 2007, the paparazzi wanted any shot of her holding her sons, with headlines that followed calling her an unfit mother. Unfortunately, there wasn't the same conversation about mental health back then that there is now. I hope any new mothers reading this who are having a hard time will get help early, because I now know that I was displaying just about every symptom of perinatal depression: sadness, anxiety, fatigue. Dr. Jessie Gold is a psychiatrist who specializes in women's mental health.
Because a lot of the guilt that comes with postpartum is in the context of what it means to be a mother, what it means to be a woman, what it means to have a trouble connecting to something you're supposed to be so connected to. And I think it just would be compounded with people saying negative things about you and not knowing how to process that because your brain is already negative.
So having postpartum, your thoughts are already negative. Then you start reading headlines that you're a bad mother. The paparazzi's chasing you with your children. That's a combination for disaster.
I think it sounds like it would be really hard for anybody, and I wouldn't really wish it on anybody.
That same year, Spears made headlines when she publicly shaved her head. It was an act of defiance, she says, a message to those who saw her long golden locks as nothing more than a sexy exclamation point in dance routines. I was cornered. I was out being chased, like always, by these men waiting for me to do something they could photograph. And so that night, I gave them some material. Shaving my head was a way of saying to the world, F you. In 2008, a California judge placed Spears under a conservatorship. Her father, Jamie, took control of her finances and personal life. Spears says she grew up scared of her father, who she says was a mean drunk, and who also, she says, had past business and financial problems. Michelle Williams, who voices the audiobook, read this excerpt about Spears' father.
Even though I begged the court to appoint literally anyone else, and I mean anyone off the street would have been better, my father was given the job. If you're asking why I went along with it, there's one very good reason. I did it for my kids. Because I played by the rules, I was reunited with my boys.
Spears says she was forced to live under the conservatorship for 13 years. Every aspect of her life, including her diet, career, and birth control, were decided for her. She says she wasn't even allowed to drink coffee. After a long legal battle, a judge released Spears from the conservatorship in 2021. Free Britney now! Something that never seemed possible to her until she saw the Free Britney movement. In the book, she addresses her sometimes controversial, sometimes concerning social media presence, even to this day. I know that a lot of people don't understand why I love taking pictures of myself naked or in new dresses. But I think if they'd been photographed by other people thousands of times, they'd understand that I get a lot of joy from posing the way I feel sexy and taking my own picture, doing whatever I want with it. Spears says she's looking forward to her newfound freedom. Freedom means being goofy, silly, and having fun on social media. Freedom means being able to make mistakes and learning from them. Freedom means I don't have to perform for anyone, on stage or off stage. Freedom means that I get to be as beautifully imperfect as everyone else. And freedom means the ability and the right to search for joy in my own way, on my own terms. For CBS Mornings, Jamie Yuccas, Los Angeles.
Now, we've reached out to Britney's father, Jamie Spears, for comment, but have not heard back yet. Of course, he's welcome to come and chat if
Yes,
you'd like.
I'm really looking forward to reading this book.
I am too.
Thank you, Jackie Puskis, our book editor, who had 2 extra copies.
Yes.
For me, so I really, really thank you.
I'm so
but it's
intrigued by her
interesting.
story. Yes.
Number one, so we hear her reading it, and then I hear that the parts that were too personal for her and difficult, Michelle Williams was chosen. Michelle did a great read. The
Fantastic
actress
job.
did a great read. I'm really curious to hear Britney in her own words how she's feeling and what she's navigated, because everybody I know is pulling for her.
Also,
still,
because her story is such a fascinating one. It's
Yes.
sort of timeless in that somebody is plucked from. She was already kind of a child star, but becomes like a worldwide superstar,
Yes.
and then has these trials and tribulations that they have to overcome. And I'm always intrigued by stories like that of grace under pressure. So
And,
I'm
and as
really
much as this is a reflection of her, I think she is holding up a mirror to the industry. And it
100%,
is
Nate.
a roadmap for
Yep.
young
Point.
stars.
Yep.
Because she was built up and
Yeah.
then torn down.
Very good
exactly
point.
right.
Yep. All right. Britney Spears' memoir, The Woman in Me, hits stores tomorrow. Make sure you grab it.